have, but I hit executive director and I got certified to be a health coach. So it was an amazing month and I can't wait for what's to come.
That's awesome, Kyla. So like Kyla, you spoke a couple weeks ago, and I got your name corrected, so I'm not going to say Kayla anymore. But what was the difference for you? I mean, you came on, you hit executive director pretty quickly. Like, what was big for you in that process? Because you're coaching like a pro, you're working really closely with Carla. Like, what was big for you?
I think just having that aha moment, that realization that this is truly about being able to help people, and just the blessing that it's been able to have upon my family, my husband losing 58 pounds and myself getting off of 10 medications and feeling so much better. But it has truly, truly been in my heart. And it's just been so rewarding to be able to help people through this process and just really link arms with amazing people and help them get better health and optimal health. So, yeah.
That's amazing. And I think we all know what you're talking about. When you start getting into action, you go after it, it gets inside your bones and you can't stop. Like you wake up every morning thinking about it. And it's like, this whole thing happens. It's where like you like life on purpose / helping people / our own health kind of like emerges. Like it's like a immersion, it's kind of like a merce for men that would have purses. It's
Yeah.
I think I heard Doug Wood say that, but it's like it gets into your bones and you're just living life on purpose. And I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about here today, and that's what you did. So congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Here, I'm gonna mute a couple people and we will get going. Let's see here. All right, guys, let me jump in here today. We are doing week 6. Coffee and consistency. You guys made it. You guys realize you made it through an entire month? Like, you guys realize that you did it? Like, let's give everyone in the chat a congrats. Like, if you have to give yourself your own congrats, go for it. But like, give yourself a big round of applause because 6 weeks, everyone stayed uber consistent. We had the same amount of people in here. Like, I thought we'd have some fall off over the last little bit, but everyone's been staying consistent. But I should know that from the numbers. So I have one kind of question for you today. I just feel like this like passion on my heart to like share with some things for you guys as you guys have been displaying this consistency and there's so much to celebrate. We're going to be kind of tying a pretty bow on this last month and putting some things into play and continue to build it. Like, can I be unplugged with you guys today? Today's going to be a little bit more simplified and a little bit more about mindset and simple actions, because I don't know if you guys have realized that we've gone through an entire month. I want you guys just to take a moment before I get into this and literally picture where you were when you started this at the end of January. Like, it's probably going to be mind-blowing for you. Like, you probably have changed the amount, like, you've changed a lot of lives. You've probably changed yourself. You've grown your business, your skill sets, things that you were like, you had no clue about 6 weeks ago. You're probably like, man, I can do that in my sleep now. Like, does anyone have anything like that? Drop one thing in the chat that you feel like you are doing well now that you weren't even doing before. And it might be something you didn't even realize that was going on for yourself. Grab the chat real quick. Day follow-ups, 1 through 4 calls, connecting, intentional schedule. Love it. Organized. Yeah, it feels really good. Integration calls, gratitude, 3, 3, and 3, everything, Kendra, everything. Schedule. Okay, this is really good. So I think I can be unplugged. I saw a lot of ones in the chat because first of all, you guys had an incredible month. Like, it's so great to see you guys, so great to see consistency. I've been coaching for a long time and I watched the breakthrough of consistency in your lives and what breaks through for you and then what that means for other people and all the lives we're touching. We had our biggest month in February, but of course that's going to happen when we're all working together and doing that. We blew it out of the water a few days early, which was fantastic. Many of you guys hit new ranks. A lot of you hit personal best. A lot of you set the stage for your personal best this month. And I'm just going to give a quick shout out because I can't list everyone, but like, let's see here. Janet Hensey, first month Team Global Pursuit. Dan and Jill Height, second month Global Qualifications. Jen and Jason, you guys hit your second month of FIPC and regional. Nicole, Lisa Rodriguez, and Kaylee, Big Fingers Club for the first time. Tracy and Brian, new regional directors. Let's see here. Big Fingers Club, second month in a row. Danae and DJ, new regionals. Carla, you hit regional. People are blowing out of the water with frontline volume. So Jen, Jason, Lindsay, Nicole, April, Abby, you guys were all of the top 5 frontline volume runners, all running over 15,000. You guys, that's crazy, you guys. Well done. Nicole and Lindsay, you did that while on vacation in Mexico. Like, That's what shows you when you're a pro, like how well things go. And then we have new executive directors. Kyla, you just spoke a second ago. Congratulations. Sarah Graves, Lisa and Steve, Evan, Jim and Tony, DJ, Jasmine, Karen, Angela, and Nicole. Congratulations, you guys. Like this, it was an incredible month. So March is even bigger, and that's what we're going to go over today. So one thing that's really cool to look at is what we're going to be going over today is building on a month of consistency, setting up your March for success, and solidifying everything that you guys learned this month. A lot of you guys probably just had a breakthrough. You're like, I didn't even realize how far I'd come. And by the way, that's something to continue to think about. We never give ourselves enough props. We're always beating ourselves up over what we're not doing well. We never give ourselves enough props on what we're learning and what we've grown in recently. So today we're going to go over everything you need to know to set up your month. But we're going to hear from a few people, and today's going to be a little bit unplugged, and we're going to keep it simple because, as you guys have learned, it's just the basics that create the breakthrough. Like, Kyla, you're on my screen still. Did you do anything magnificent last month except just stay more consistent and catch that fire? Like, is there anything that you did that was magnificently different?
No, honestly, it really wasn't. Just consistency, and the people that had been watching the previous month coming around and just saying, hey, I've been watching you, even though they didn't like or comment on Facebook, just having that 3, 3, and 3 consistency and, just staying plugged into the social media and people seeing it that you have no idea is watching.
Exactly. Thank you for hitting on that one. I'm going to hit on a few things later on why March is so big, just to kind of paint the picture of it. But every single time we've done Coffee and Consistency, yeah, we have great months. It's fantastic. But it's the month afterwards where everything shows up. And so March is usually one of our better months. And I'm a little excited to see what will happen with March and the consistency showing up. So that's, again, why we're going to keep today kind of pretty consistent and unplugged and show you guys some mind stuff, because you guys have got the structure stuff. So if we can keep the mind stuff focused and do more of it and keep on that high pace, you'll be able to change more lives, and you'll do it in your sleep eventually, because just like we've shown the squiggly line, everything gets easier and easier. But just to kind of give you a recap on everything we've covered, just in case you were wondering all the things you've grown in, we learned last month how to set up a month, and we're going to go a little bit more into that today because now you know what a month looks like. We've covered connecting and social media. Props to you guys. Like, I've seen I've seen the way you're showing up in social media. I've seen the way you're being intentional. You can tell that you guys have been intentional on this. It's great. Sharing program, integrating clients, we covered that. That was fantastic. I think a lot of people got a lot over that on actually went over how to take it to the phone, how to do that, how to set up the call, and how integrated clients start way before you ever talk to them, and then how to do a health assessment. Supporting and integrating clients over their first month. Allison, you covered that so well. We talked about finishing the month strong and how to use a daily text. And we also talked about integration calls, which we'll recap a little bit today. And today we're going to tie it all together by rolling this momentum into March. So actually, I need to go back one slide. So before I get started here, we're going to keep today pretty simple. But I wanted to have a few people come on and share like what their breakthroughs were, because I think one of the most powerful things we have is that we get to learn from other people, and we're all doing the exact same thing. And we all have these different breakthroughs at different times. So I chose a few different people at different levels, and they were kind of volunteered. So I'd actually like to bring on new executive director Nicole first. Nicole, are you there? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Brad.
There we go. Sorry about that. Good morning.
I was wondering if I was going to have to unmute. Hold on a second. It's not showing up on my screen here. Where are you at? There we go. Hold on. I'm going to spotlight you. There we go. Hey, Nicole. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. So I wanted to bring you on today as we start this month. You had shared a lot of the things last month were a huge breakthrough for you. So like you recently reached executive director. You work closely with Mike. You have a great health story. Maybe just share some of the things for you as people are watching here. Like, what are some of the things that worked really well for you this last month in moving and building towards executive director and the breakthrough with your clients?
Well, there are quite a few, actually. I grew a lot this month with Coffee and Consistency and just staying close to my support team. Mike is amazing. You guys are all amazing. One was my map. Working my map, going through, checking with all my clients all the time, making phone calls, not text messages. making friends with people rather than just telling them my story, and then sharing what I have gone through with confidence and passion. Before, I was a little unsure about, I'm not one to brag on myself normally. So, but being able to be confident and just tell people, this is what I've done and you can do it too, and I'm going to help you do it. And then using simple systems makes it the easiest thing in the world. Text messages are right there. Everything that I need is right there. And yeah, just willing to learn and try new things and grow every day. It's been pretty amazing.
Okay, well, you did a great job. You were on fire. You went executive director pretty quickly. That's why I called on you. You were very consistent this last month, and I watched your confidence go up quite a bit. How has it been for you? Like, how much did the stuff that like we covered this last month, how did it help you in your support of your clients?
Oh my gosh, it was huge. Like, I use Ashley's little one all the time. I have a notebook right here full of little things that, you actually say. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so easy. There's no anything to it. So it's really helped me a lot because I'm able to say, for example, I think one of my favorites was, let me find it. Can I talk to you tomorrow? Like, not not hard. It's so easy. I don't have to get on the phone right then and there. Can I talk to you tomorrow at 10? Perfect. They say yes, we set it up, and then it's done. So easy.
That's amazing. Well done, Nicole. Like, congrats on executive director. You've been doing a great job. And not to mention finishing it up, like you already had end of the month numbers. You're an accountant or you're an accountant and you all still finished up the month, no problem at the end of the month doing that and be like capitalizing on your shares. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. Like, great job. And let's go take on this next month.
Thank you.
All right. So the next person, actually, I'm going to have a whole barrage of Nicole speak. So Nicole Castaneda, are you there?
Hey, Brad, I'm here.
All right, girl. Okay, I picked you, and actually, Candy also volunteered you. Let me bring up your spotlight real quick here. I'm going to put you on the spotlight of this. Can everyone see Nicole on the screen right now? Her great glasses. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, you're right. Well, Nicole's are pretty much awesome.
Yeah, and I learned a new trick today. So you wear glasses to cover up not wearing makeup. Okay, cool. Like, I'm learning all these things. So guys, like we're learning. Nicole, I called you because I saw something in you last month, and everyone can get this way. Like, I think you had gotten a little bit out of routine, and I had kind of heard through the grapevine, you kind of maybe lost your passion a little bit in multiple areas of life.
Yes.
I saw you catch fire this month, and it wasn't even like even I talked to you that much. I just saw it. You can live it when someone's on fire. You can see it. You grew a ton this month solidly, and I can see you having fun and thriving in your health. But I don't want to give away your story. So what was helpful for you this month, and tell a little bit about like what's made a big difference for you this last little bit.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'm on I think this is about my 4th year of coaching, and to say that I had lost some passion is absolutely right. I think I was in my own head a lot about things. I was trying to stay connected, doing the weekly, the leadership Zooms and things like that, and I was feeling. I don't know, I was these concepts and these thoughts in my head, and I was finding myself just feeling kind of frustrated, and I had to really work through a lot of that, and I had to work through feeling like, I don't know, I think I was having a little bit of a pity party. I'll be totally candid about that. I think I was really having a little bit of a like, poor me, and it was horrible. So I remember coming home and telling my husband, like, I had all these epiphanies within like a 3-hour period of time. Just doing a lot of prayer and asking for some clarification on things. And it really came to me. And I thought, you know what, Nicole, if you're going to do this, you have to do it. Like, you can't tiptoe. You can't kind of just try and do it your own way. And you can't do that. It's not going to work. It isn't going to lead you anywhere. It's not going to get you where you want to be. So I made the decision to start doing the coffee and consistency calls. About the same time, Candy had said, hey, why don't you start doing the coffee and consistency calls? Like, why don't you just try that? I had already made the decision in my head to do it and put it in my calendar. And so I hopped on the first one. I sort of, the first week I kind of was like, oh, fine, okay, I'll get up early and do this, because I get up really early every other day of the week. And by the second week, I was like, I'm up at 6:30. I'm so excited for this. And really, it was just about doing the things that you guys have all talked about on these calls and really doing them. Like, just being on the call, you guys. I mean, that's a really big deal. It's pretty early for a lot of us. So making the commitment to yourself, to invest in yourself by being on this call every Saturday is huge. So I'm really proud of myself that I did that. And I think we should all celebrate that. Creating my map, you guys, and using it. Like, that's huge. Like, yes, I've made maps in the past and I've sent a picture to Candy and okay, I did it. And then it goes away and I never look at it again. But actually using it as a tool, you know, if people change their order, I'm crossing it off on my map. I'm adding people to it. And then you guys, this is also huge. And Brad said we could be unplugged today. So I made a hundreds list. I haven't made a hundreds list since I very first started coaching. So I actually made a hundreds list, and I put down, I remember telling Candy, I'm only going to have probably 15 people to put on there, but that's okay. It's completely full, and I'm on to the third page now. And I think using that, it really clicked for me when we were talking about social media and actually using social media. I always thought I was really good at using social media because I've made a lot of connections via social media. But I also found I was mindlessly scrolling through Facebook. I was spending a lot of time like just in my news feed. And during one of the calls when people were talking about using Facebook as a tool to build relationships and how to do that, it just clicked for me. And I thought, that's what I need to do, because a lot of you know I have anxiety in my life, and it's something that I contend with really regularly, and scrolling mindlessly through Facebook does not help that. So really using that hundreds list, the only time I get on Facebook, which is scheduled in my schedule, I go to those people's pages and I'm building relationship with those people. And I'm so excited, actually. As soon as this call's done, I'm going to be signing up a client who I've been messaging back and forth with for the last 2 years. Because of that, because I was intentional about going to her page. I reached out privately to her and invited her to the call last week. I don't think I'm doing anything that's like crazy powerful or different. I'm just doing the things that have been laid out before us, and I'm actually doing them and being consistent in doing them. So I guess those are probably the biggest things. Creating the calendar for myself. I'm actually using my calendar. I sent a picture of it to Brad and Candy about a week ago because I was so excited, like, you guys, and I'm using the time that's in there. We can all create a calendar for ourselves and not use it, right? Everybody can write down like, oh, I'm going to do this at this time of the day, but are you actually doing that? Like, are you setting down at 7 o'clock at night and saying, this is my connection time, and using that time to the best of your ability? So I think for me, it's been about doing the things that I say I'm going to do and doing them the way that we have been shown to do them. And then the last, I guess, thing I would say is using the text campaign as is. That was huge for me. When Ashley was talking about that, and a couple of other people were talking about how they weren't editing their text campaign and how they were setting that up with their clients, it was like this freedom for me. Like, oh my gosh, do you know how much time I'm spending like trying to personalize all of these? No more. We're not doing that anymore. I started 4 clients in 1 week, and I was like trying to figure out how am I gonna like do this with all of these people, and now I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I think just really, again, follow the steps that are laid out before us, doing the things that we have been shown how to do, and making the commitment to ourselves to do them. I can't tell you how much better I feel emotionally, physically, spiritually, like in my whole life. It all just comes together when I do the things that I know lead me to where I want to be. So I guess that's it. I think that's all.
That's definitely amazing, Nicole. Like, the chat was blowing up, and I'm glad you kept talking, because I was honestly getting a little choked up because, you know, you're like, yeah, it's not that hard what I was doing. I just did all the basics, but you chose to do it, and you chose to show up. And I've just watched you like, yeah, great. Your business grew to one of your highest months like you've had in a long time, but just the happiness on your face. You chose to show up, and it's just your life's improving. So congratulations, keep building on it, keep going the wins. And a lot of those things, I think people took a lot away from what you shared there. So that's why we're doing a few of these, because we're going to keep today simple, because success is just built on the basics, everyone. Like, it's just coming back to the basics. So I'm going to actually bring on another person on here. It's not in Nicole this time. We're going to break up the flow. I'm bring on Miss Kaylee. Kaylee, come on over here and share. You dropped a little bit of a hint a couple weeks ago that you were doing well. Well, you finished up a great month, Big Thinkers Club, totally on fire. A lot of stuff going on. You said you were really consistent. Share with us on here, like, what was some difference makers for you this last month?
Good morning, everyone. There is a lot that Nicole C. just spoke on that really, those are a lot of things that I reflected on too this month that worked for me, but I'll try to, bring it from my own personal angle, because we all have our own story and we're all very different. But something that's really been on my heart a lot lately is, Brad, a while back when we were in Arizona, we were in the car together, Paul and Allison and I in tow. And anyways, I was telling you some of my dreams and really what I wanted for my family and getting out of debt and all that. And one of the things you mentioned just so nonchalantly is you're just not dreaming big enough. And that's something that's been a consistent piece that leaders keep bringing up, is you're not dreaming big enough. And that for me has really started to click. And what I'm finding is when you start seeing, you're going to start seeing those dreams when you start doing the work. And so much of what I've been doing has been ish. I don't know, there's a book called Ish. I'm a former teacher. And anyway, it's about doing everything in an ish way. And it's okay to not be perfect, you guys. And it's okay to have those days where you're kind of ish. But really, when you're showing up and you're doing the work and you're being consistent and you're avoiding the ish and just showing up and being your best, that's when I was finding that things were starting to fall into place. I wasn't making the excuses. I wasn't playing the woe is me attitude. I started just showing up and doing what everyone's saying. I mean, most of you guys, I'm sure, have been on these coffee inconsistencies, taking mad notes. And a lot of us know what it is, but are you truly doing the do? And that's something that I really walked away with this month that I did. And it worked out in my favor and for my clients, because I get to help more people. And I'm starting to dream bigger now. So just a few things I wanted to touch on that really did come together like a puzzle for me is my schedule. We know we need to have a schedule. We know we need to show up. But now that my business is growing, I'm like, I really need a schedule, because I'm going to get really overwhelmed and frazzled, and it's going to feel like too much if I don't have a schedule. So really lean into that. If you guys have one and you really want it to grow, just lean into it and rely on it. Along with your map too, having that system and those structures, you guys, the map isn't there to just take a picture and send it over to your coach for them. It's for you. And they're going to help you dream bigger and help you reach your goals with that. And it brings some accountability to you as well. Okay. Being able to reflect on that on the 1st and on the 15th with your coach every day. I mean, know your numbers. And then also the support. Allison, who's my business coach, we have a lot of fun together, and they're not long 30-minute calls every day. It's just a quick touch, and sometimes it's a text, sometimes it's a quick phone call, but utilize your coach, you guys. You're not annoying them. They want to see you prosper and grow. Okay. So have fun and trust them. They've got your back. Another thing is very similar to what Nicole said that kept ringing into me, because I'm super social and I love to creep on people. But don't go through and just do the feed on Facebook. They say that the average person spends 45 minutes on Facebook a day. Can you imagine how much more stuff you can get done in 45 minutes of your business if you're not just scrolling through Facebook and liking random people's things? You're going to get so much more done. So allocate that time for your 3, 3, and 3, for showing up in the world in an intentional way. Have a game plan. Don't just fill in your planner that I'm going to do my power hour right now, have an actual game plan of what you're going to get done. And that's what I found helpful. And I am getting more done because I'm not playing around on Facebook. And then I'm probably missing some things, but the last thing I really want to touch on is when your business is growing, I also notice that you need to take care of yourself as well. That's so important. You need to have your me time. You need to take yourself out on coffee dates. Maybe it's going out on a coffee date and doing a little bit of work. That's fine. Or maybe it's a coffee date where you're going and reading your morning devotional, or just reading the newspaper and just taking care of yourself, going for walks. And part of it too is when you're having your me time is you get to still dream big. And when you're dreaming big and you're putting all these things into action, it's all going to come together. So those are some of the main things that I came away with this month.
I'd say that's pretty good. Well done. Congratulations. I love what you shared there, and just putting it into practice. And that's kind of what we're going to end up with this call, is kind of helping people go back to solidifying the basics. There's a book called The One Thing. And, just one thing about one thing is just coming back and recommitting to one thing each day helps you catch fire, helps you stay passionate, helps you move forward to that. So we're going to come back to the basics today, but I wanted to give some examples of people staying consistent. And I've just heard over and over this entire month, like, I did it and it's working. Like it's like always a surprise to people, and it really cracks me up. But I love watching people win. Like, did you guys know that one of my biggest things, like, I'm going to get to a part of today is going to be like recommitting to understanding like your why and what drives you in your structure. One of my biggest whys that I know is that I love what drives me is watching and people around me win, have aha, have breakthrough, have those connections. So I just want to say, like, so many of you guys were like, I made the time to do it and it's working. So like, let's recommit to that and have that this month. Kaylee, well done. You are dreaming bigger, and you over doubled your income this last month. And you shared that like you have some financial goals, and I'm gonna also teach you guys how to like track your income a little better this month. Because some people have said some funny things to me. Actually, Kaylee, you were one of them. Not trying to call you out, but I was like, I'm going to teach you that today. But before we do that, one last story. Is this helpful? Can I get a 1 in the chat if people sharing their breakaways have been huge for you? Okay, good. We all learn from each other, and if I haven't done my what's it called? My plug, once again, is everyone here. If you're staying consistent or partially consistent, you're doing great. Don't compare yourself to others. We all have our strong suits. Be focused on what you want. And the part of doing this together is the fact that we get to all learn from each other. So, so far, Nicole and Kaylee, great job. I wanted to bring on my third and final Nicole. So Nicole Parker, come on off here and share here today. I picked you for a particular reason. One, congratulations, 3rd month integrated national director. Congratulations, Nicole. But it's not the rank that was important, because just so you guys know, leaders are built in the dark. Everyone thinks that success happens overnight, and honestly, it's the same thing over and over again, making a decision to do it. And you just think, because they show up one day, that they're just amazing that one day. But no one sees the work that goes in, like, before it happens. And it's like, I see it now. Like, our good friends Matt and Christy Engstrom went presidential director. I called it last month. I go, Matt, I see you working. What's up, dude? What is going on? He's like, oh, I'm just trying to help some. I was like, whatever, dude. You're working on presidential, aren't you? He's like, yeah. Anyways, I can start to see it when it happens. And I saw Nicole's coming. She leaned into Kelly and Carlene, and I've seen such great breakthrough in her on next level stuff. So Nicole, I wanted to bring you on today and just share, because, honestly, like, let's just call a spade a spade. You were not happy a few months ago. I could tell you had lost your passion and you were just going through the motions. Dude, girl, you're on fire now. Like, I mean, highest frontline volume I've ever ran. Anyways, I'm taking away from you. What's been big for you this last little bit, and what helped you find your groove?
So, I can't really say any more than what everybody else has already said. And yes, Nicole's are awesome. So I'll just put that out there. And, just taking it back to the basics and getting out of my own friggin' way, right? I mean, that's all it is really leaning into my support. And one thing that I said like a few months ago was that I'm going to say yes to everything, that really opened up a lot. And this right here is super nerve-wracking for me. I don't do well in front of people, speaking in front of people. But a few weeks ago or a month ago or so, we had an event here locally, and Carlene asked me to speak and do some trainings. And I said yes, and came away from that feeling like the leader that I know that I am, and just being able to take it to the next level. So for me, it's all about, taking it back to the basics and being in structure. I mean, it's simple. It's so simple. Like, being consistent on what we're sharing on social media, being intentional about who we're reaching out to. I do well with checklists and bullet points and just action steps and stuff like that. So, the 3x3x3 is great, but if you want to move faster, take it a little bit bigger, do 5x5x5 or 10x10x10. So I was really intentional about posting a lot on Facebook, not just, about health, but about my personal life, branding myself, welcoming people like into my life and building those relationships on social media. So that, honestly, that's huge, right? So along with that is, those follow-ups when we're talking to those people on social media, send them personal messages. I have tons of notes here. So, going live on Facebook as well is huge. That's going to get yourself out there, learning those algorithms on Facebook, sending messages for birthdays. I don't know if it was on here or somewhere else. It's like, I just recently found that little voice thing that you can do on Facebook. So when people have birthdays, like sing them happy birthday. Was that on one of these trainings or something else that I saw? I can't remember. But anyway, that's a cute little tip and something different and original. Leaning into your support was huge. So 6 months ago, if you asked me to do this, Brad, I would have been like, no, sorry, made some excuse. Yeah. My daughter's baby shower is today. But I'm taking the time to do this because this is important to me. I could have made all kinds of excuses not to do this, but it's where I want to be. And I'm going to be on that stage, integrated presidential, one day. So dream big, do the work, lean into your support. What else? Oh, stellar client support. Get your systems down and your schedule down. When you have happy clients, they become their referrals or they become coaches. They're part of your team. So, I have my systems down for my client check-in. I have check-in days. I am in contact with my clients day 1 through 10. I get on the phone with them day 1 through 4. And then I still consistently am checking in with them through day 35. So it's really and integrating them into our support community. Asking them to share their lean and green, right? If they had some great, non-scale victory, asking them to share that on support page. If they found this awesome water bottle that's working really well for them, have them share it on their support page. Give them that permission, because a lot of people may think that, well, no, it's not for me, it's just for the coaches, it's for the other people or whatever. So it's like, no, my gosh, you're going to inspire so many people. There are so many new people on our page. I know that they would love to have that tip from you. And, it's really going to help you with the support and integrating or, becoming part of that community is a huge thing. And another thing, this just happened like on one of these last calls, maybe last Coffee and Consistency was with, doing the kickoff calls. And I feel like I'm all over the place, and that's what I do, guys. So if I ever do this again, this is what I do. The kickoff calls. I was like going through the lean and green. I was like, oh, well, this is what you do. I know it was on that video, but let's just go through and let me get you major, I just want to hit some major points here. I don't do that anymore. Like the past, week or two or whatever, how long it's been, it's like, I don't cover the lean and green or any part of the fuelings or anything like that. I focus on the other 3 components. I am going to, check in with you for the first 4 days when you're on program. Let's set that up now. Boom. And I set it up on my calendar. It's on my calendar. They know when I'm going to call them and check in. Then I do those systems checks with them, go through their day, what they've done that day. And I focus on, the Habits of Health book. Put it on your nightstand, before you go to bed. Read a couple pages, that's going to really be key to the mindset of you going forward. And then lastly, pop in, our support page. Introduce yourself. I've already introduced you and welcomed you. Post a picture of your fuelings that you have ready to go tomorrow, or, just really encourage them from this very beginning to be a part of our community. And I feel like I'm taking too much time here, but I have some bullet points that I wanted to. So my major things are: be consistent. Oh, okay. Stop making excuses. I made a lot of excuses, and I was in my own way for a long time and compared myself to a lot of people. And I'm not like anybody else. Nobody here is like anybody else, and just be yourself, and you're going to attract the people that you're supposed to attract, right? Follow the systems. I mean, that's like a no-brainer. We've all tried to create the wheel again, but it doesn't work. You just eventually go back to the systems. Just do it. Always set new goals for yourself. For the longest time, I had on my map, integrated national director. I mean, for probably a year, it was on there, but I didn't really think about it and, put the action steps into play to get there until just a few months ago. So know your goals and know the action steps to get there. Lean into your support. They are there for you. They have no agenda. They want to see you succeed. And that's it. But this is my 3-year anniversary month of when I started program. And my life has done a complete 180 physically, mentally, just financially. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, just complete difference. So super thankful. I'm done.
Jeez, I've never seen anyone recap coffee and consistency in 10 minutes, a whole month of it in 1 minute. Boom, you guys, Nicole, congratulations on so many things, for leaning in, for the example, for proving what works, for finding your best self, for so many things. Congratulations, and thank you for sharing. I think, can I get a 1 in the chat if that was boom? Was that big for you guys, confirming, Nicole, you nailed it. You should not be afraid of talking in front of people, because that was the coolest thing ever right there. So well done. Nicole, yeah. Do rock. All right. I think, that's why we spent today being simplified, because it works. And it's not about being perfect. We're practicing here. I mean, heck, man, this last week, Kaylee's nodding her head right now. I'm oh man, I didn't do that. But you know what? I did do a million things more than I did before. And when you practice, they just kind of start to flow out of you. Feel natural. You'll do more. So just it's so much harder to go half pace. So I'm gonna really encourage you to take what you spent the time investing in this next month and put it into play this month. So what I'm gonna go over today, and actually before that, I know I've asked the chat a lot real quick here today, but we're gonna wrap up with some simple things that are gonna help you set up your month. Continue to build on success. First of all, can I get a 1 if last month was one of your best months ever? Volume-wise, consistency-wise, income-wise, any of those things? I'm just going too far. I'm not trying to give away. All right, 1, 1, 1. All right. And then let me know where I'm going next. I want to know if I'm sorry. Who wants to build their business, grow their business 20 to 30% in the month of March? Drop me a 2 in the chat if that's what you want to do. All right, 2, 2, 2. All right. There's a little key to this. So again, we're teaching you here today. And again, you guys have seen the breakthrough on this. So I'm just going to be right unplugged on a little bit more of this, if that's cool with you guys. 20 to 30%. And why that is, and I'll get a little bit more into a second on that, but there's something about March and something about consistency. I think it was, Kaylee, you were saying the lurkers that we're watching, you don't even know where they are, but when you're consistent, you show up and they're there. 20 to 30% more doesn't mean 20 to 30% more time. And I think that, just so you know, hands down, I see that concept more often than not. People will limit themselves because they think more is more. But the more, Nicole, real quick, are you working more than, are you working significantly more? Your business has doubled in the last 5 months. Are you working double the amount of time?
No.
All right. That's what I thought.
No. It's more intentional. Yeah.
More intentional. So what I want to cover with you guys today, because now it makes a little bit more sense now. A lot of it was okay, cool, that's theory last month. I want to show you guys a little bit about how to build and put one in there that's really important to a lot of you as we go into this month. 1, just understanding building blocks. You get 1 point for every 1,200 in frontline volume, and you get 1 point for every single senior coach line of business. You guys all know this. This is starting to become repetition for you. But if you can set your mind on 2 to 3 points a month growth, because that's not more, but you can know what to focus your time on and structure your time around, you can continue growing. Like Nicole, your victory to Integrated National was just a culmination of practicing and 2 to 3 points a month over and over. Again, leaders are built in the dark. And 5 and 1 in your business each month. There's something I want to show you guys again here today so you guys can see what your next steps are in your business. So wherever you are at on the screen, just be like, okay, cool, that's my next step. So if you're senior coach, you come on to coaching really quickly and hit like senior coach or manager, and you're 7 to 8 months, more like manager, your income's gonna be like $700 to $800. You're gonna get that cab bonus, like your income's pretty like solid right off the bat. Here's the one that I didn't include last time, where most of you guys elevated to, or a lot of you guys elevated to this last month. A manager or associate director. It's 2 to 3 points. You've gotten your groove down. You're helping quite a few people. Your income's on the very, very low side without being certified, without like just barely hitting manager. It's going to be $600. On the high side, without a rolling bonus, it's going to be about $1,000, which is fantastic. A lot of you guys were there this month. We had a lot of new associate directors. But I want you guys to understand like what the victory is for getting better and building over time. So an executive director, and if you're an associate director right now making $1,000, that is only 6 more clients, 6 to 7 more clients. So less than half, or less than about half of what you're doing right now will double your income. Like you can see that that's at that executive director mark, beginning mark, it's $1,800 to $3,000. So this is huge. I just want to show you this because I had a lot of people. I wasn't going to do this, but so many people were like, oh my gosh, I'm that close to the next. Well, I was like, I got to meet someone real quick. So one, if that's where you're at, your next step is executive director. You can do it. Link arms with your support team. We had a ton of people do it this next month. A lot of you guys are already got it locked in. 2, if you have someone on your team that's at that point, don't let them hang at associate director. Partner with them and get them that bump up because it also fills your funnel. You're playing with more people. Nicole, you hit on referrals, well taken care of clients, become coaches. It's like more people, like it's an accelerator. And that's why we're going to talk about setting up your month of March, because that's what's going to come into play a lot. But if you're an executive director right now, your next step, because so many people are like, is it FIBC that is my next step? Is it regional is my next step? Well, I'd say in more actuality, your next step is like a strong executive director business. That might be regional, whichever, but it's going to look like elevating your frontline volume to like up towards 8,000. Bringing on your next few coaches, like Kaylee, like you're on my screen right now. You have done that. So you have increased your income quite a bit and you're building your business forward. So that's your next step if you are a newer executive director. I don't want you guys to have a concept because when we got started, it was like 6,001 was always the goal. And so everyone for their life hit 6,001. And then it was always a struggle until honestly, like one of the first few people to help us that was with David and Terry. And Ashley and I just started growing our business higher because we wanted to help more people. And then all of a sudden, like it just became what we did. So I just want to help you guys with that. If that's where you're at, don't get stuck in that 6,001 dance or that 4-and-1 dance. Think big, just get your flow going. Obviously, you heard from people today. I'm not going to preach it. The next step after that is FIBC. A lot of you guys are sitting right there. Your income jumps up significantly at that. Now you have $1,000 every 3-month bonus for being FIBC. Your team's growing. You have higher frontline volume. So like a lot of people don't see, like they just think that income is more income and work is more work. But honestly, more work actually will net you more of an impact in people's lives over time and build you more stability. So again, it's building blocks. Does this all make sense? Can I get I like feedback when I'm talking to people. Is this helpful for you guys? Because I had a lot of people share with me that this last month that this understanding what their next step was the big breakthrough for them. So I didn't want to move on from this next month. And I want to show you how close you are to that next big step of income level. And of course, FIBC sets you up for global director, because once you have FIBC, it's all about just helping your coaches win and helping them move to executive director as well, one step at a time. So can I get a 1 in the chat? Is that helpful for you guys to know exactly what your next step is? Like, can I get some feedback? Is the chat working? No? Yes? No? Chat? Oh, there it is. Sorry, my chat's hidden. I'm like, you guys are probably like, Brad, you're crazy. The chat's going nuts. Okay, there it is. I see it now. Sorry. All right, perfect. So I wanted to cover one more thing because I had to probably say this to about 40 people this last month. And because I want you guys to thrive. I want you guys to again, I want you to want what you want. I don't want anything more for you than what you want. But I really want you guys to think that you guys, we were at 10X GrowthCon this last weekend, and honestly, it was like being around like 9,000 of like our top quality like community here, thinking bigger, no holdbacks, like wanting more, like not selfishly for monetary reasons only, because of purpose and driven. And when things like that get in your bones, like you want to do so much more. And so I'm about to teach you how to calculate your income, because so many people were like, oh, I don't know what I made. But it's because I want you guys to thrive. I don't want to say this to brag. I want to say this because you guys can do it too. I became a millionaire at 31 years old. A millionaire just means that you have $1 million worth of assets. So it's not like I have $1 million just sitting around like in my pockets. But I can do it. You can do it too. It just takes purpose and just adding. Like, did you know most 4 out of 5 millionaires are employed? Did you guys know that? Like, they don't even have this vehicle. So that kind of teased me up, because I want you to know how to calculate your income, because when you know how to calculate your income, you will appreciate it more. And like, I had a great conversation. Lori Dufresne and Garrett, you crushed it this last week in a conversation we had, because when you know how to make income and you know what you're making, well, then you can go make $1,000 more each month almost. And the only way you can do that is by getting good at your system. It doesn't mean more work. It means helping more people. So you guys follow, like, tracking me right here? Like, learning this is like a skill set, because it helps you like help other people. So anyways, the way to do it, because a lot of people have told me this is my favorite. Oh, well, I got my bonus month on this one, and then I get like this, and then I stand on my head and I get weekly bonuses, and then I think I don't even know how much I made. I think I made like $500. All right. So Kaylee, I'm not going to say Kaylee's exact income, but it was well over $4,000 last month, and you haven't been coaching that long. Congratulations. How many hours a week do you work, by the way, Kaylee?
Probably around 25.
Nice. And it's kind of hard because it's like blended together. Like, you might be actually working a little bit more, but it's also purposeful, so it doesn't even feel like 25.
Right. Exactly.
That's a pretty darn good hourly rate. And you're also, if you stopped working this month, just like if you stopped going into work, you would get paid, you would stop getting paid. Well, if you stopped working or went on vacation, or if you're as cool as Lindsay and went to Mexico, your income grew because you still support your clients. Like, that is another benefit right there. So anyways, I'm kind of getting on a tangent here. The way to do it, the actual way to do it, one is you can look in your Connect. It'll tell you what your total rolling is for the month. But the truest way to calculate it is, in a couple days, on Monday probably, you're going to get a check, or you're going to get a notice of what your monthly bonus check is. That's all your rank advancements. So whatever that number is, take that number. Those are all your bonuses for growing past senior coach, or coaches on your team, national director, whatever all the bonuses are. That's your lump sum. And it's paid on what your Optavia Connect said at midnight on the last day of the month. So you take that number, and then you add 15% of your frontline volume, because you get paid 15% of your frontline volume weekly on that month. So if your volume was like 10,000 frontline volume in a month, then it's $1,500. A lot of people are like, well, I get paid weekly on this. They're chopping it up. Don't confuse yourself. I would say the number one thing that's helped me be financially like well and help people do that. And by the way, here's a plug. A lot of people have reached out. I love helping people with this. If you don't feel like you have your finances taken care of well, I will personally help you with that. Like, I want everyone on my team to win and do well at this. And a lot of you have had major breakthroughs. So anyways, I'm getting on a tangent here, because I'm just so passionate about like seeing you guys break through. It's fantastic. But so that's the truest way. You would want to add any incentives. Like last month, they did a $50 match for starting a new coach well. And then they also you can get CAP assistant bonuses. So if you help a new coach come on and get their CAP, that's not going to be included in your bonuses. That's your true income. So the way I want to say it like this is because the way I knew how to automatically look at it like this was, one, is because Terry and David helped me, mentorship. But when I was at Paulson's Floor Coverings, I was in a sales department. My job was to support the sales staff. And so the way they did it every single month, it was all based on commission. We were doing work. It was all over the place. But at the end of the month, you got your commission check, because it was based on what you produced in that month. They didn't get paid that till next month, but each month they knew what they earned based on what they did that month. So that's the way to look at your guys' income. So when you come to your map, that's the way to calculate it, because if not, you'll confuse yourself. I have so many people saying like, I did it this month and my bonus month's this month. you're cheapening what you're making and what you're building. Like this, can I get a 1 in the chat in this? Because like this has made a big impact. If this is helpful for you. Okay. All right. Because sometimes people are like, yeah, bro, I get this. So, okay, I just wanted to make sure you get this because when people get this, this is a prerequisite for thriving at the next level. If not, we tend to just go backwards. So that's how to calculate. And 2, when you know how to calculate, you can go calculate more. My goal, honestly, I don't always do it, but my goal is to grow $1,000 a month in income because the only way I can do that is by helping people. Like there's no shortcuts, by the way. So that's a cool way of making goals. Again, making goals that thrive, that matter to you. All right, off of that, now that we know how to do that, we're going to fully take on March. So I wanted to show you guys like why March is so important because you guys know all these things. You guys are staying consistent. We're just going to finish up this call by doing more of what we were saying and talking about all the things that Kaylee, Nicole shared this morning. But December is great. We had one of our best December months. It was fantastic. We grew in December. Normally we stay about the same. January, we grew a ton. And it's because we're planting seeds, staying 3x3. Our algorithms are going up. February was huge. A lot of you guys saw your best months in February, even though we lost 3 days, mind you. We had 3 less days in February. And I know, just as a heads up, a lot of your clients bumped orders to the beginning of March. I noticed that too, and that didn't stop you guys from growing quite a bit. The reason why March is so important, I don't want you guys to miss this because this is really, really key. March is where everything comes together in your consistency. So like what Nicole was talking about, what Kaylee was talking about, what Nicole was talking about, because there's a bunch of Nicoles, is referrals start to come into play if you're taking care of your clients well. Dripping on coaching starts to come to fruition, or you help them refer, and then that's time to become a coach. People that were stalking you and really creepily and never told you what they were watching, you finally reach out because of your consistency. Clients that like try to go do other things come back, and they come back on fire. Clients that push their order because February is a short month are ordering that month. So like, that's what I say, 20 to 30% more. It actually might be like 40 to 50% more for you. Like if you're a new executive director or if you're working on executive director. So I just want to encourage you guys to stay consistent this month and tying this together on why this all works. All you got to do is keep doing what you're doing. And that's why March is huge. And then March rolls into April and everything keeps on growing. But that's all well and good. So as I wrap up here today on this call, because I think the tips alone were the best way to end this call, is it just goes back to setting up your month. And so I don't want to just harp at you to grow 20 to 30%. I mean, some of you are excited about that. Some of you are like, heck yes, like why not 40? Why not 50? I see it now. I get it. I see my stuff, paying off. I see my consistency. But what I would really encourage you, this is the same recipe for success on setting up your month every time. So this is what I would encourage you to ask you today as you're setting up this month and every single month. And I don't want anyone starting this month off I don't want anyone to get to like the 10th of the month and be like, oh man, what was that thing that I was supposed to be doing again? What was working for me last month? Because that is a real thing. I don't like to teach by telling you what not to do, but that is a real thing that a lot of people will do. So my goal is that no one gets left behind as we start this month and we continue to start practicing the things that are working for us. I did have a conversation with someone this last week that was like, they honestly couldn't even pinpoint what it was that was working. I knew what was working for them, but they didn't even know what it was to keep repeating doing that was working for them. So just practice, because I think we've all learned that it's all the same thing. So the thing I would encourage you to do today, and I'm actually going to awkwardly pause so you guys can write it down, is what is your why, or what is your next goal? And here's just a little tip on goal setting or why, is it doesn't need to be grandiose. It can be. But honestly, it can just it's just whatever excites you, whatever is next. And I would also say to this, as I'm just kind of rambling while you write this down, I really want you guys to write this down, is a lot of you guys have accomplished more than what you thought possible. I remember when we started making $10,000 doing this, I had passion for helping people, but I had, it's like what Dr. Ray talks about with structural dynamics, like my desire, my need to push was not there because life was good. The only reason Ashley and I have been able to grow is because we keep coming back to what drives us. Like you guys heard earlier that my drive, like I love watching you guys win. I love watching clients. We all know that feeling when the client hits their first 10 pounds and they're like, I've got this. So like, that's what drives me. Living on purpose drives me. And all the way to this, like, cause nothing should be able to throw you off. I had, I'm not try to get emotional about this, but my childhood baseball coach passed away last month. And it got me start thinking, everyone kind of has those moments where you're like, am I really doing what I want to be doing in my life? And I was able to be like, heck yes, I'm doing everything I want to be doing. I'm a good father. I help people break through. I love doing what I'm doing. So at any point, I just want to help you guys be able to be like, that's what I'm doing. So nothing can throw you off. So number one today is, if you don't know your next big goal or your next big why, or it doesn't get you excited, here's an example of it. Like, I love numbers. I don't know why. They just speak to me, partly because numbers means breakthrough in lives for me. Like, I can equate it to that. Ashley thinks differently than me. Not wrong, just different. She likes different things. Like, she likes one time, just different goals. Like, one time she just wanted to make $1,000 or $100,000 each, because it was just something that excited you. So find something today to shoot for that excites you. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just, you just got to have that feeling and then stay consistent on that. And there's one last thing I want to say as we're wrapping up here. Thank you guys in the chat. Like, that's helpful, because I just want to be here to help you guys today. And it sounds like this kind of mindset, us continuing to help build each other up, has been the breakthrough for a lot of people. But there's one other thing that Grant Cardone said at that weekend. And it said, he said, what you are obsessed with, you will soon possess. And honestly, that was kind of a breakthrough for me, because honestly, a lot of the things that we've accomplished, yes, we have a great support team, but like, it's honestly everything we've ever accomplished, like, especially before we had systems like this, it was just something that we desired, that we want to go after. Because if you just decide you want it and you go after it and stay consistent, you'll figure it out. What you are obsessed with is what you'll get. And a lot of you guys have been obsessed with finding your why, finding hope, building, that yes for your lives, building competency, building health. And again, I don't like to teach on what not to do, but I just love you guys too much to not say this to a few of you today, because I can see it. And, I've been there too, but when we're in it, we don't see it. Some of you are obsessed with your excuses. And some of you are obsessed with your reasons why you're failing. And some of you are obsessed with why you can't do it and why you're not doing a good job. I want you to, you're obsessed with something today. And I'm not, just so you know, a lot of you guys are, you obviously heard the call. You guys are not there at all, but a few of you are. And I just love you too much not to speak to that group of people today. Stop being obsessed with what you're not good, and start to be obsessed with why you can do things, why you're amazing, why you want to do your next step. Does that make sense? Truth? All right, cool. Sorry, a little Brad Unplugged, a little passion this morning as we wrap up. So anyways, back to the simple things. This month, as you start this month, just dive in fully, like Nicole talked about, committing to these things. Commit to pursue your health. Not perfection, just keep moving forward. When you move forward in your health, it's infectious. Plus, it gives you more time and more energy. Schedule in place. A lot of you guys crush the last weekend of the month. That tends to make your schedule a little bit wobbly. Come back and commit to the one thing that makes your life work. Do that. Map done and connections list refreshed. Focused on who's next and what you're doing and where you're going next in your business. Connect with your support team. And I ran rampant yesterday with all of you doing that, so I'm just preaching the choir. You guys already did that. I was on calls from, I'll just say it, 5 a.m. with Nicole, or with Lindsay on the East Coast, and Kelly, all the way to 7 p.m. at night with Mike. So, and I love it because it didn't feel like work to me, but I just want to let you guys know what you're doing, and success leaves clues. So, or at the very least, if you have the skill set for where you're at right now, at least text your support team what your goals are. I got one this morning, and I was kind of wondering what they were up to. I know this person's on fire, but when I saw their goals, you guys, I got fired up to help them with their goals. You realize the X factor that happens when you share your goals with your support team? They get fired up to help you get those goals. And not to mention that, just, again, I'm a numbers person. Stats show that it increases your likelihood of achieving your goals over 30% if you tell someone else your goals. And a good person to tell is your support team that can help you get those goals. So anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox here, because the only thing I would encourage you to go back and do is get back into your action and building connections, like Nicole talked about, like Kaylee talked about. Go do more of it, but do it with a warmed up market. Your algorithms are up there. You've been dripping seeds. Time to go harvest. Go have your focus on who you're raising up and who you're pursuing. And the last thing about creating intention is, now that you've been consistent, now what do you want? Antonio and Annie, by the way, props. You guys came to Ashley and I, and you said, you know what? We've been consistent. We brought on a lot of clients last month. Now we want high-level clients, and we want high-level people that want to come coach with us. Now they've changed their search. Now their 3 and 3 became a search for people that are like them and people that are going to be a part of this community. So whatever you need next in your business. And then the last tip is take action on the front end of your month. Like Sarah Graves, you started 4 clients like in the first 3 days of last month, and you said like it set the tone for your month. So start this month strong. That's your invitation. I kind of said it the other day, like if you had a little bit wobbly or you forgot where to go, that's what to be doing today as we start this month. I'm not going to go over this slide because you guys know the map. Great maps here. Work your map well. These are some good examples of good maps. The last thing I'll say as we wrap up this morning is congratulations on a phenomenal month, my friends. Like it was so cool to watch you guys personally win. And we want to bring more people in. I decided with Ashley that we're going to do a coaching exploring call on Monday because after Coffee and Consistency, because again, success leaves clues. You guys are supporting your clients while people are integrated. We have people that are there for coaching. So we want to invite them. So what we're going to do on Monday is we're going to have a coach explore call. We're going to have stories just like last time. You know, it's just going to be some information about what it looks like. It'll have some trilogy and there's some health stuff. So it'll be good. It'll be good no matter what. Invite boldly to that, especially if you've been taking Allison Petty's advice and ripping it like a pro, like exactly like she shared, because what Allison talked about was so perfect. It was amazing. And then because we're just like so amazed by you guys, like we will match $25 or $50 scholarships through the end of that week. So, and then that will lead up to a new coach training / basics training following Saturday. So we'll have a bonus Coffee and Consistency next Saturday. So anyways, my point is just start off the month strong, focus on what you want next. We've given you the recipe for success. Everyone just said the same thing. All of you are doing the exact same thing. So go get more. Become obsessed with what you want next and what matters most to you. And then on this call right now, invite. I'll give my last plug for this. No one comes onto your team as a favor to yourself. This is of service to them. I think we've heard everyone in the chat, their breakthroughs. Who do you want to give this to in your client base, in your life? And I think we'll come back and share on it. Ashley was going to share it on today, but the kids wrangled her down. There's 2 ways of bringing on coaches, and you guys are seeing the difference.
Hey, I'm here.
Oh, you're here? Okay.
You just can't see my video because I'm nursing.
Okay. All right, well, Ashley, we're at 8 o'clock anyways, but you just want to share one thing real quick is we taught exactly last week how to do a coach, like how to do an integration call, how to drip coaching, building on what Allison taught that week before. And that's good. And that'll see a lot of results from that. So maybe we'll just reiterate that. But a lot of people don't know. I'm going to go back to this one right here. That's part 1, integration calls after their first week. That is a difference maker. And I think you guys have seen that. If you drip coaching, if you layered the full offering, if you do what Nicole says and covers the 3 components as opposed to talking about the food and you integrate them well, if you do the 1 week integration call, that ups the call, like the potential so much more. But actually, there's one that a lot of people don't realize. It's like, yeah, do that. You're going to get a lot of low-hanging fruit. That will increase your odds. What a lot of people don't know is how to see the match and know where people are going. Because a lot of people get no's and just say, okay, well, they said no to coaching. Or they mentioned something before that just said no, and they just completely lose pursuing that potential in someone. And you are really good at that. Would you just give any kind of last tip on that as you are identifying coaches? Most people will say, like, not right now or not be ready. Just so you guys know, Ashley and I said no to coaching. Literally, we said no to coaching for 4 years. And I think it was a good match for us. Like, I think we were just wrong. So Ashley, what's your tip on how to help hold that space for the people that don't just jump right into it after you're doing the steps right away?
Are you talking about this particular one?
Well, yeah, I guess to set you up really quick as we wrap up here, Ashley has 2 clients, and this was our perfect example. That's why I wanted her to share on. She had 1 client that she did the steps with. Let's call her name, or we won't say her name. But she said, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. Ashley's done all the perfect things. Hey, I've made this much money on your referrals. Like, she's asked every single time, still a no, and it's becoming more of a, oh, I'm still thinking about it. And she's holding the space for that. She's going to be a coach. Ashley sees that she's staying consistent. The other person was a referral of this person. She followed the steps, and this person wants to become a coach in week 2. So it's like, you will get the people that will do it. But Ashley, I just thought you could probably give some tangible tips for us to keep our eyes and awaken that potential in someone and see that match and hold the space and not make it about ourselves, wondering like why they're not ready yet, instead of just being confident and that we just have to help them move that towards that one step back. What's your key on it? Because I've never really seen anyone be better at it than you.
Thanks. I would say, like, for me,
I think like what you said, like, I know what I'm looking for. If you're a candidate, you're a candidate till I say you're not a candidate. I'm that confident. And so I have heard people say to me, well, so-and-so said no. So-and-so said they're not interested right now. So-and-so said they're busy. And I was like, I'm sorry, did they say they were not a candidate or did you? Because like this particular person, I have not backed down on my offers. I've actually become more and more clear and bold. And it's all my mind is thinking is my job is just to move her. Well, I mean, it's up to her to do it, but like my job, my intention is to move her forward. What does forward mean for her? Well, she's a coach candidate. So forward means that she starts supporting people. Forward means that she starts supporting the referrals that she keeps sending me. That's what forward looks like for this person. So she has, she's still like her life. She's still kind of being run by her life instead of her running with her life, if you know what I'm saying. So me being a consistent support figure, I know where I'm going. I know where this relationship is going. I know that she's a coach candidate, period. Like, it's just when she decides that she's going to become the coach. And then, yeah, her referral was so funny. The referral referred to me, a friend, and immediately, because I've done all the systems with her, it was a no-brainer because I did a integration call with her on her 1 week and the whole thing. So she knew that coaching was an option because she knew, because we talked about it. So anyways, when she said, okay, my coworker is ready to start and so is her husband, it was an instant like, awesome. Am I coaching her or am I going to show you how to coach her? And she's like, oh, yeah, can I do that? Is that weird? I said, no. I mean, she's going to ask you all the questions anyways. So, I mean, let's be real. You can make $25 on this and $25 on referring that lady's husband, or you could be the coach and make, start 50, 60 per month per order up to about 110 per month per order. She's like, oh, yeah, okay. Let's talk about this. And so anyways, same exact steps, same exact intention, same exact qualifications. How they choose to receive that is up to them. But like, I hold tight to the system because I know I'm moving these people forward.
Awesome, Ash. And you even managed that with 2 kids. I don't even know how you do it. So I think that was a good way to end up. Was that helpful for people? Elizabeth says boom. Allison says mom boss. I honestly don't know how she does it. All right, guys, that's it. We have set up and gone through an entire month. Monday's call, let's invite to that. I think that'll help tailor your invitation to that. Looking forward to this, and then we'll have the scholarships this week. Keep building on what you're doing. Like, we've gone over how to start off your month, but follow what we laid out. Lead with your health, take action. Figure out if there's this is one class tip for you. Figure out if there's anything that you have not been doing yet that you know you need to be doing. Like, I don't want to focus on the negative, but like, if there's one thing you've been avoiding as you've been winning, taking the action, go do that thing. Take it to the next level. Take action out of the gate. Connect with your support team if you have not yet, or at least share with them what their goals are and ask for any tips. And then let's invite to Monday's call. You guys, it has been a pleasure and an honor just watching you grow and thrive. And your breakthrough creates breakthrough for other people. So let's go take on month and have the best month we've ever had personally and at whatever level matters to us as we keep on growing. Have a great week, everyone. Congratulations on the great February. Let's go have an incredible, incredible March.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, buddy.
Great call.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys are seeing wins. Go build on it this month. I've said that like 80 times, but just like I watch you guys winning, so just keep on building on it. Talk to you guys later. Have a great Saturday.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad. Oh my gosh, look at you guys.
Say bye. Have a good morning. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
So cute.
Nice kids.
All right. Bye.